Everybody talks about chasing their dreams. Everybody talks about becoming successful. Everybody talks about becoming the best version of themselves. But almost nobody talks about this specifically, the thing that stands between where you are and where you want to be. And that, my friends, is fear. And not the kind of fear where you're running away from a fucking bear. No, I'm talking about the fear that keeps you awake at 2 in the morning, the fear of making the wrong decision, the fear of failing your family, the fear of not making enough money, the fear of wondering if you are raising your kids the right way, the fear of asking yourself, am I screwing this whole adulting thing up? And if you ever ask yourself that before, congratulations, you're normal. Because here's something I wish somebody would have told me years ago. Being an adult doesn't mean you stop being scared. It means you learn how to make decisions while you're scared. Growing up, I honestly thought adults had everything figured out. When I was a kid, I thought parents knew exactly what they were doing. Teachers seemed like they knew. People in suits definitely looked like they knew what they were doing. But then you become the adult and suddenly you realize what we all are just trying to figure it out. Nobody gets handed a manual. Nobody gets a pop-up tutorial that says,
"You've unlocked adulthood."
And somehow you are expected to know what you're doing. It's kind of ridiculous if you think about it. Let's talk about money for a second. How many people stay stuck because they're terrified of making the wrong financial decision? And this is what usually runs through their head. Should I buy a house? Should I rent? Should I invest? Should I save? Should I quit my job? Should I start that business? Should I buy that camera? Should I spend money or hold on to every dollar? And here's the problem. Sometimes we're so afraid of making the wrong move that we make no move at all. And doing nothing is still a decision. Sometimes it's the most expensive decision you can make because the opportunities don't wait for us to become fearless. Now let's bring it closer to home. Having a family changes everything. You stop thinking only about yourself. You are now thinking, am I providing enough? Am I being a good husband or wife, depending who's watching? Am I giving my kids enough attention? Am I teaching them the right lessons? Those questions never really leave, and honestly, I don't think they should. Because those questions mean, well, you care. The parents who worry about being good parents are usually the ones trying their hardest, from my experience. And one thing I've learned, fear has a funny way of lying to you. It tells you if you wait just a little longer, you'll finally be ready. You'll finally have enough money, enough experience, enough confidence, enough knowledge, enough time. But here's the secret. Being ready is a myth. Nobody feels ready. Not at first though. Not even the second time, not the 10th time. You become ready by doing, not by waiting. Think about the first time you drove a car. You're terrified. Now you barely think about it. The first day at a new job, scary, now it's routine. The first time holding your child, absolutely terrifying. Because suddenly this tiny human depends on you, yet somehow you figure it out. Not perfectly, but well enough, and that's how life works. I think one of the biggest mistakes people make is believing confidence comes from action. And well, I don't think it does. Confidence comes from after action. Every confident person you admire started out nervous, started out awkward, started out wondering if they even belonged. The difference is they kept going. Here's another thing fear does. It makes small problems look gigantic. You start imagining everything possible thing that can go wrong. You create entire movies in your head, and 9 times out of 10, none of those things ever happen. We spend more energy fearing life than actually living it. Something I tell myself all the time is, what's the worst that can happen? Maybe I'll fail. Fine, that's fine. Then what? I learn, I adjust, and I try again. Failure usually isn't the thing that ruins people. Quitting is. So if you're waiting for fear to disappear before you chase your goals, you are going to be waiting for fucking ever, bro. Fear isn't your enemy. It's actually proof that what you are about to do matters. If it didn't matter, you wouldn't be nervous. So instead of asking, how do I stop being afraid? Ask yourself, what kind of life am I missing because I'm letting fear make my decision? And that is a completely different question. I want you to leave with this. Your kids are watching, your spouse is watching, your friends are watching. But most importantly, you're watching yourself. Every time you choose courage over comfort, you're teaching yourself that you're capable of more than you thought. Not only that, how I mentioned earlier that your kids and all of them are watching, you're also making a very, very good example of what good thing to do. Something that they can look up to you and learn from. Something good they can learn. You don't need to have every answer. You don't need the perfect plan. You don't need permission. You just need the courage to take the next step. Not 10 steps, not the whole staircase, just the one. Because one day you're going to look back and realize the life you were afraid to chase became the life you're grateful you didn't run away from. So whatever you're afraid of today, make that phone call, apply for that job, have that difficult conversation. Tell your spouse how you really feel. Spend time with your kids. Take care of your health. Stop waiting for the fear to disappear. Walk forward anyway, because courage isn't the absence of fear. It's deciding that what you're building is more important than what you are afraid of. That's all I got for you guys. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Peace out.